So in other words, I told Pamela Mackey and her investigator the whole story, and then eventually Pamela Mackey gets these photographs, and it bears out exactly what I said, except Pamela Mackey said, "Where are the rest of the photographs?" You know, Brooks turned around and walked back in his house. And the assistant district attorney, Don Downs, said, I'm going to have to check on that. They might have been deleted or destroyed or lost or something. Don Downs called my attorney, Pamela Mackey, and said that Fort Collins Police Services, which we presume was Officer Christy Allen, had told Sean Hines to go ahead and delete a bunch of the pictures.
Now remind people who Sean Hines is.
Sean was the vice president of the board of directors for the Homeowners Association where I lived, West Pine Bungalows. And Sean was the guy behind his house, 155 feet away, taking pictures of me with an 8-power telephoto lens. And interestingly, my brother was a professional photographer. My brother said, if you right-click on the picture, you can get all the properties from the image. And sure enough, you could tell that it was an 8-power lens. You could tell he was 155 feet away. And you could tell that he took 2 pictures 4 seconds apart. In that 4 seconds, in both of those pictures, I had the handgun pointed at the ground by my right leg, looking down. 4 seconds later, I was looking up. It was exactly as I said it was. And somehow Fort Collins Police Services convinced Hines, probably didn't take much convincing, to delete all the evidence that would make me look not guilty.
To be clear, why were you holding the gun pointed down at your side?
I had just taken it out of the pocket where it was starting to get wet. I switched hands with the hose to avoid it getting further wet. I set the hose down to let the tree water while I went inside. So it was out of its little slash pocket for not more than 10 seconds.
But you were pointing at the ground. You weren't waving it in the air. You weren't pointing it at anybody.
I was never pointing it at anybody. My finger was nowhere near the trigger. It was pointed downward when it was in my pocket. I never even changed that angle as I pulled it out of the pocket. I pulled it out of the pocket, just extended my arm so that I could switch hands with the hose. I've seen a dozen cases in Colorado of what they charged me with, felony menacing. In Colorado, felony menacing is what you get when you say, if your kids don't stop playing the drums in the backyard, I'm going to shoot them with this rifle. They charge felony menacing in Larimer County when people fire shots at other people. I can't find any indication that felony menacing is ever charged, even if they believed I was trying to frighten the guy, even if they believed I knew somebody was there, that felony menacing was ever charged with the gun out of its holster and pointing toward the ground. There is something called brandishment, which is you happen to have and you're waving a gun around. I wasn't even doing that.
Did you know at the time you were watering the tree and holding the gun pointed at the ground that there was any neighbors watching you?
No.
Did you even know anybody was around?
No. No. In fact, I was certain that nobody was around.
That's the only reason you were in the front yard.